Hello, welcome back. We're going to continue working on the interview project. So first of all, if you haven't already, you're going to want to make sure that you upload your interview, or you could have a link to your interview, and it's going to be either by video or audio. And then make sure that you've participated in one of those three options. So either attending the Zoom session, which is Monday night, or the in-person session on Tuesday at 12:30. Or if you weren't able to make it to either of those, make sure you post in the asynchronous discussion board, which is right here. Okay? All right. So we're then going to move into socio-emotional learning. So in the classroom, it's not just all cognitive, how we're thinking about ideas, but also how we're interacting with each other, how we're working in groups. What do we need to put us in the space that we can do that deep learning? So the student learning outcomes, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe ways in which LA supports student learning and reflect on how an LA can facilitate socio-emotional supports in the classroom. So by Friday, you're going to watch a video from a physics class at Tufts University. And here is the link to the video. It shows a group of students in a Physics 1 lecture that takes place in a traditional lecture hall. The video is taken by a cell phone that's mounted on the LA. So it's a little shaky, but it's nice because you get to see the interactions from the perspective of the LA. The pseudonyms for these students are a little weird. I think one of them is named Bucket, but the students chose their own pseudonym, so there you go. While you are watching this video, do not worry about the physics content they are discussing. They are looking at a torque problem in physics, and are thinking about the torque around a moving object. Don't worry about that. If you want to engage in the physics, go for it, but don't feel like you have to. What you want to be focusing on is the types of interactions between the LA and the students and the students and the students. This video is from a colleague of ours, research group, Erica Sperry, who's at Tufts, and she's doing awesome work. If it is helpful for you, right below is the transcript of everything that's going on in the video. If it's easier for you to sort of be able to read some of that, you can open up the transcript. All right, so you've watched the video. What now? By Friday, you're going to go ahead and post in this discussion forum. You're going to think about how you define socio-emotional support. How does the LA provide socio-emotional support to students? How could an LA provide support to students beyond an interaction around a content-based problem? And why are these other forms of support important when students are engaging in working on problems? Okay, so you're going to want to do your reply to that by Friday. And then by Tuesday, April 4th, you want to respond to at least 2 of your peers on the discussion forum. All right, so usually I review what we've done the week before. We talk about what's due this week, and then I turn off the video. But I'm not going to today. Why not? So let's go ahead and look at what we have coming up for week 11. So week 11 is the last part of the interview project, and we want to make sure you have plenty of time to do this. So we're going to go ahead and open it up now. But these due dates are a ways in the future. So we're going to be doing our second interview. So let's look at what we have going on for week 11. By Friday, April 7th, you're going to review your first interview again. Based on your first interview, you're going to revise any of the questions that you need to. It might be that all of your questions were great and you got excellent answers. It might be that you turned out something you thought you were asking. The interviewee thought you were asking something different, and you got a different reply than you wanted. That happens a lot. That's okay. Revise your questions if you need to. And then you're going to find a second person to interview. And it might be somebody very similar to the first person, and you're going to look at what's the same between those two. It might be a person who's very different from the first person you interviewed, and you might want to look at what differences you see between that. Either way is totally fine. And you're going to then complete a second interview, and then either upload it right here, or provide a link to it, like if it's a YouTube video or something like that. Again, it can be video or audio. All right. So Once you've uploaded your video or provided the link, then by Tuesday the 11th, you're going to upload a 2-page paper on the interview process and what you've learned. So let's go through the directions of what that interview paper project is going to look like. It's 2 pages, and by the time you answer each of these 6 questions, like, you'll have 2 pages. So don't stress about the length. You're going to answer the questions directly. So, question 1, boom, here's my answer. Question 2, boom, here's my answer. Don't think that you have to construct this like an English essay. I'm a chemist. Dr. Sabell's a physicist. We're good with just getting to the answers. You're going to want to reflect on the process and what you learned from the 2 interviews you conducted. And you may want to re-watch or listen to the interviews before you write. So you're going to be thinking, why did you ask your specific questions in your interview? Did you change your questions from interview 1 to 2? Why or why not? You're going to very briefly describe who were your 2 interviewees. You're going to talk about what are the strengths and weaknesses of your interviews. So how did the strengths and weaknesses change from the first to second interview? What did you modify from interview 1 to interview 2? Question 4, you're going to look at what did you learn about how people think about the topic in your interview, and be as specific as possible. And were you able to elicit specific ideas? So again, did you see any of these things that were the same between the 2? Did you see any differences? What does that tell you about how they're thinking about the topic? What would you change if you were to do a 3rd interview? And what lessons learned from the interview project could you apply to being an LA or a tutor? All right. If you have any questions about what you need to do for this paper, please let us know. The interview projects are always super interesting, and so I'm excited to read what you've put and learn from this project. Again, please let us know if you have any questions, and hope you have a good 2 weeks of thinking through these ideas.